our next speaker is a talent builder, right? A recruiter. So a lot of us, we actually know, we feel, let me use the word, we feel we know a skill, for example, UI UX, web development, but the way we look at these things are not really the way recruiters and talent builders look at it. So there's something they're always looking out for that we may not know. So that is why sometimes you feel you know, like you feel you know you're good, and then you put up applications, and then you end up getting a lot of rejections, tons of them. So we want to hear from a recruiter, a professional talent builder, from our own perspective. What is it that they are always looking out for? Tech companies, what is it that they are always looking out for from talent, tech talent, especially female tech talents? So without further say, I'm going to be inviting Omotola Adedapo. Sorry if I'm not getting that right. I'm so sorry. So yeah, Omotola, you have the stage. You have the stage now.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, and you can see my screen as well as my face. Hello, everyone. Can you see my screen? Hello.
Yes, we can.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations again to HerTechTrail for 2 years. I've just been in the background trying to observe. I've listened to all the speakers and I've listened to the amazing things that the Tech Trail team has achieved in 2 years. The amount of achievements, people that have passed through this institution and have been better for it, people that have won prizes. Congratulations to Claire. And thank you so much to the team for putting this together. I'm a lover of tech, I'm a lover of data, digital transformation, anything that gets us on our feet, anything that gets us thinking of better ways to do things, and anything that helps us, think about the future. We, the future of work, which is actually now the now of work, which is, as we say, it's a lot of things that COVID forced us into getting into, should have come at an earlier time. So the kind of speed and rush with which you're trying to catch up with the times, something that we should have been getting used to a long time before now. So that said, thank you so much again to Tech Trail for putting all of this together. So what are we talking about? Employability skills. Um, and I'm just going to share a few points that I have on it. But I wanted to hear from the house. I'm not able to see the chats now, but there's this argument of which is actually more difficult. Getting a job. There's like a job of your dreams. Finding that job or staying relevant, staying on the job without having to get kicked out or being able to add value. So what's your opinion? Can I get in the chat, just put if you think that finding a job is more difficult, put an F. If you think that keeping a job is actually more difficult, put a K. Let's do this quickly. Okay, okay. I'm saying people are saying finding a job. F. Okay, people are saying that finding a job is more difficult. Okay, so okay, it means that we think that that would mean that we think that where we need to demonstrate employability skills would only be at the point of trying to get a job. So it means that we think once we've gotten a job, we'll be able to get through the door. The rest is easy peasy. But we find out that it's easy to lose a job as easy as easy as it is to get a job. Even if you got it that easily, it's also very easy to lose that job. So when we talk about employability skills, the number one thing I wanted to highlight for us this afternoon is the fact that at every point in the career journey, whether you're a fresh graduate, you're just starting off in your career, you're trying to get a job, you've not had any experience, or you start to work and then you're building your experience, and even on the current job that that you're adding value on, employability skills cut across the entire career journey. Be it you're an experienced person, your mid-career, your senior career, employability skills at every point in time are required because you need to keep the same energy, as much energy as you used in finding a job, or convincing the recruiter that you're the right fit for the job. It's as important as you need as much energy even when you get on on the road, to keep adding value and to sustain the job. So why do we need employability skills at the end of the day? What's really the fuss about it anyway? All I just need, why can't I just come out of school, I have my degree, I have my qualifications, I see a job that I want and I get it? Why are we talking about employability skills? Word on the streets is, oh, it's difficult to get a job. There are no jobs on the street. People have spent years, after school, and then they're pursuing a particular job of their dream. And then word on the streets is there are no jobs. But for it was said at the introduction, recruiters, headhunters, HR managers, talent management professionals have a different story, because adverts are going out every day, there are vacancies every day, people are resigning every day, and we always have vacancies. But same way job seekers are, on and on about, oh, there are no jobs. We say that we have jobs, we're recruiting. We just don't have enough people that are employable. The right skills that we're looking for in people to put them on jobs are, simply lacking. And this is because, the vast majority of youths, of job seekers that we have, don't have the understanding that there is more to what you bring to the table than what your CV says about you, than the qualifications or the degrees that you have. There are certain skills and competencies that you bring to the fore that recruiters are looking for. Much more aside the technical competencies. It's a whole bucket of many things, and we just want to look at a few of them today, especially as it relates to tech roles. So, both in job seekers, job holders, that's whether you're looking for a job or you currently have one. It's important to understand that employability skills are those things that single you out from the regular person on the street, and someone who's really going to add value to the role that you're trying to get. It's not so much about finding a job at the end of the day. Being the right fit and bringing on value, solving problems, is really why we're on the career journey. And a lot of speakers have spoken today, very amazing and beautiful presentations about finding your niche, knowing the things that you're strong at, knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses, how to create a space for yourself. But at the end of the day, when you do create a space for yourself and you find your niche and you work on getting those competencies, there are other things that we're looking at that adds up from there. So we're going to be talking about 4 key points that sum up employability skills for tech: ability, agility, aptitude, and attitude, of course. So we're speaking about ability. So at every point in time, there's a job to be filled, like there's a vacancy, there's a problem. So you're not just coming to fill a space, you're not just coming to add to the numbers. You're coming to solve a problem that is on ground, and we need to understand this as young professionals, as mid-career, or even senior professionals, whether you're fresh from school or not. There's something you need to know as a person that you bring forward, you bring to the table. So, what are those things that you have built in yourself that you're able to do, able to bring forward? So, you're only as relevant as the problems you're able to solve at the end of the day. Like John said, identify the tech space you want to play in, and acquire the skills and competencies you need to thrive in that space. So, it's not so much about knowing, oh, I want to do UI, UX, I want to do product management, I want to do business analysis, business intelligence, different tech jobs. There are a lot of tech, as in the tech world is very wide. It's not just the IT guys with the glasses, with the hoodie and always in front of their computers. There are so many ways you can, be in tech and still excel in tech based on the things that interest you and the things that you think you have the strength and competencies for. So it is important to acquire the skills and competencies, and you do that by learning. So you're not just going to learn. UI UX sounds cool, sounds fun. I'm just going to start applying for jobs, and then I have zero competencies. So what are you able to do? And then if you're not able to do a particular thing that you think you want to try, what have you done in terms of bridging the competency gap that you have? So you must know your competency gaps at every point in time, and you must be interested in bridging them. You don't go applying for jobs that you have zero knowledge about. That's the first thing. So speaking about ability. And so we're just going to, under ability, we're speaking about some competencies that are, unique to tech in a way. So we have, as someone who wants to be in tech, you must be creative and innovative. The ability to create, conceptualize, innovate, learn, unlearn, and relearn. Your mind must be thinking, about, better ways of doing things. You must be able to put things together, being analytical. Data is life. So you can't be someone who, does not like numbers. You can't be someone who gets a panic attack when you see different numbers on the spreadsheet and then you go, oh my God, what is this? What do I do with this? You can't be that kind of person and you excel in tech. So you must love numbers, you must love stories, you must love putting things together, drawing insights. You must be someone who has the ability to look at a situation or look at a scenario or look at data presented before you and you're able to draw out a story, draw out an insight to share with your stakeholder for business decisions. And then you must be someone who's able to create. That creative ability, innovative ability is bliss. There's no way you're going to thrive in tech without the creative ability. And now, I must say that there are some things that we're born with by virtue of our temperament, our DNA, our personality, and there are some things that we can learn. So if you're naturally, so there's a place of your natural strengths. There's also the place of things that you can easily connect to, plug into, and learn, to harness your skill and competence in that area. Thirdly, you must be someone who's process driven. Being able to pay attention to fine details. You can be someone who is very erratic, very spontaneous, and then just doesn't really care about how things need to connect to each other. So you find that a lot of people who are in tech, they're in terms of the temperament, they're melancholic, very analytical, very they can spend time on the fine detail. They're excellence driven. So those are, there are just these are certain things about your personality that help you, thrive on, the tech role that you might be occupying. So the sequence and flow of things and outcomes, process and outputs, a lot of things about, knowing where you are at, knowing the end goal of where you're trying to get into, and knowing the gaps between both and the things that you need to do, the precise things that you need to do to get to that end point. You also must be digital savvy, being able to leverage technology to make your work easier and faster, more appealing, and more impactful. You can't be someone who um, for example, being digital savvy, you even when you're normally on an ordinary role that isn't even tech required. Something about doing things manually would irritate you, as a person, even in HR. So I'm talking across different disciplines here. Even in HR, whatever it is that you're doing, the age that we are in, the 2021 that we're in, almost in 2022, you won't do things manually anymore, even if your company is not that digitally mature. As a person in your own space, in your little corner, how you can leverage the technology that is already available to you in your small corner to get your manual processes, to do them faster, easier. You're in HR, you're in finance, you're in marketing, whatever it is. So it's not really about the kind of organization you're working for or the kind of role that you occupy. Is a personality. It's something that you wear, on your head to say, I'm going to get in the flow of the age that we're in, which is the digital age, and that will impact on the way and manner in which I do everything I do. Number two, we're speaking about agility. What is agility? Your ability to move easily and quickly, to think and understand. You're thinking on your feet. You're always thinking of a better way of doing things. That's what I just said. You're thinking about the future. You're thinking about how now connects to the future. you don't stop learning. You keep learning. You have an open mind. You think on your feet and you embrace challenges. So there are people who are set in their ways. You're not going to you're not going to succeed or thrive as a tech person if you're set in your ways. So someone who is easily adaptable to change, easily able to grab new innovations. So as much as you're an innovative and creative person, you also have a boss or a team member who is also innovative and creative. You're agile enough to quickly key into when they're sharing their thoughts. You can't be the one who's driving the team behind. So that's speaking on agility. Thirdly, we're speaking about aptitude. We're talking about 4 A's now. We've spoken about ability, we've spoken about agility, now aptitude. And what's that? Your potential to take on more mentally and physically. So your aptitude means that aside what you're able to do, aside what you know, what you learned, your mind is constantly open, and your mind is constantly in tune to take on more. You have a mind that expands, and your mental attitude is so strong that you're able to, on your feet, think about, new things to do. And you keep learning, you keep exercising that mind. So your mind is such that if you're not exercising it, you're not it's not getting broader, it's not getting more effective, it's not getting sharper. And how do you exercise your mind? You keep learning, you research. There's a particular role that you occupy in your organization. You research on what are the new trends, what are the new things that are happening, how can I do this better. You stay armed with knowledge. That's how to exercise your mind and your attitude. You're as rich as what you know. So there are some words, important words under attitude. There's when you're conceptual, you articulate, you're deductive, you're numeric, you're perceptive. These are, synonyms for aptitude. And then, the entire, framework of, having the right aptitude on your job is about learning, aligning your thoughts, anticipating challenges, interpreting, and being able to decide and deduce things. Take interest in bridging your knowledge gaps, of the organization you work in, your industry, and your environment, and then finally ask a lot of questions. These are things that exercise your mind as a tech professional. We're also speaking about attitude. When you talk about tech, there's this what's it called now? There's this maybe it's a norm, or it's just there about how people are supposed to look. They're always looking scruffled, they're boring, they don't have a social life, they're always wearing glasses. So there's just a way that tech people look. You don't have to look that way. So attitude is not just about behavior, it's also about appearance, also about the presence that you carry. You can be the tech girl with a touch of sauce. You can be the what the you can have it's not necessary that tech people are always melancholic. You can have a different personality, a different temperament. You can be outgoing, engaging. I'm someone like that. I'm very expressive, outgoing. I'm very engaging. I'm full of life, and I love tech. I love digital transformation. I love analytics and BI and all of that. So they don't being a tech person does not mean that you're just in one hole focused on your laptop, you don't take calls, you don't chat, you don't go out, you're not engaging, you don't have good interpersonal relationships. So that the appearance, the aura that you bring to people around you, the kind of the content of conversations that you have, that the things that draw people to you, and then you feel more fulfilled, more full of life, depending on the kind of things that are priority to you anyway. Bringing your full and authentic self to your job. So we spoke about finding a job and then keeping it. So you're on the job currently. How do you deliver your work? The first step is agreeing, sitting with your team lead, your manager, your line manager, agreeing your objectives and KPIs, your performance targets, work styles and deliverables. How am I supposed to, how do you want me to work? Are we working remotely? Are we working on site? And then if you're working remotely, when do you need me to turn in my deliverables? What are my targets? What are my timelines? So being someone who's excellent, someone who's paying attention to details, being able to turn in work on time in full, and without so much errors. These are things that, behavioral competences and attitude, an attitude that, sets you apart at work and helps you add value to your work. And people single you out and say, this girl is actually different. Clarify how you can be of value to the team. Be a team player, ask a lot of questions, ask about your team, be a great team player, always want to support, always want to help, and always want to, be the plug that keeps everybody together on the team. We've spoken about ability, we've spoken about agility, we've spoken about attitude and aptitude. We also spoke about some competencies, being creative and innovative, being analytical, your process driven, and then your digital savvy. So that's really about it. Just to summarize and conclude. Like I said at the beginning, employability skills, when you hear, oh, I need to be employable, it's not just about what you do in the course of application or the interview process or getting hired or getting the space. It's about everything that makes up your career journey, everything that makes up your brand. As a lot of things have been said before now, but as you show up on LinkedIn, the kind of content you put out, the kind of brand how you position yourself as a professional, the kind of relationships that you have, the kind of people that get associated with, the space that you build for yourself, the niche that you have. So a lot of things go into what makes you a rounded professional, both your technical competencies, your behavioral competencies, your relationships, how you express yourself, how you position yourself, and how you add value to your team. So that would be all. Thank you very much for listening. I'm going to
Yep.
share my screen now.
Yeah, this was amazing. Thank you very much, Omotola.